Okay, so this video is going to be for my students. I want to show you guys a trade that I made today. It's crude oil. I traded futures, and I just want to show you guys how our strategy is put into play and how incredible it is. So I made a $3,000 trade today. I traded futures. It was crude oil, and this was basically a textbook trade. A line got crossed. I took the signal. I got in and held it. I actually didn't get out because of our strategy. Usually when we get out of a trade, it's because our safety line has been crossed. I actually made enough profit that I didn't need to wait for a safety line to get crossed. So I went ahead and just took $3,000. Let's get into it. So this is right after getting in. You can see that I've got 2 down lines and I've got 1 up line. I'm also looking at a 60-minute time frame. So before I get into, why I took this trade and what it is and how much it cost, I do want to let you guys know that I have changed my time frame from my usual 5-minute to 60-minute. So I had mentioned before that it all depends on your lifestyle. So if you're an entrepreneur or you're 9 to 5, if you're only squeezing in your trading just when you've got time, then 5-minute is perfect. I've actually decided to go just full-time trading, so I've got all day to trade. So I'm no longer trading 5-minute bars. Since I've got the entire day to trade, I can use a 60-minute time frame. So now I'm holding my trades for longer, whereas a 5-minute bar or a 5-minute time frame, you're trading for maybe an hour, maybe 2, maybe even less than that. So the fact that I am trading a 60-minute time frame may be a little bit different for you. But regardless, it's all the same. All the same strategy, same lines. We're taking the signal at the same places. I just don't need to know what the price does every single 5 minutes. So I can kind of take a step back and be like, okay, I'm trading on a 60-minute time frame, and I'm going to be holding this trade for a little bit longer. So my trades now are lasting maybe 2 days, 3 at the most, but not really that long. But I would say about 1 to 2 days. Okay, back to my trade here. So we're looking at crude oil. This is futures, and this is a contract. So it may sound confusing, but I promise it's not. So it would be just the same as like if you were to type in AAPL, Apple. You want to trade Apple, you got to type in the symbol for it. Well, if you want to trade futures, you have to type in the symbol for it. Well, crude oil, CL, is crude oil's basic, that's how you trade crude oil. You can see the symbol for this one is CLU21. You can see that I went short 1 contract, very similar to 1 share if you were trading stocks. And then you can see the price that I went short at. So I went short at $65.91, 1 contract. And you can see exactly why I did it. Very obvious. So I've got an upline. The upline got crossed. I had nothing to do but take the signal. Okay, I'm going to try this short. Now, I also have my safety lines going down. You can see those 2 down lines that I have. I will come in with a steeper one. Since you can see where I got in is so far away from my safety line, I'll have to give up a pretty decent amount of capital if it does go the other way and cross my safety line. So right now, I'm kind of just looking for a better point A and point B for a steeper downline. I don't have one right now, so these 2 lines going down is all I have to work with. So I went short. Right away, it started working out. I'm up $190, feeling good. And this is at 12:30 in the afternoon. All right, now we're looking at 3:30 in the afternoon, and I'm up $1,000. Here are some things that have changed about my trading in the past few weeks. So 1, I have kind of taken myself out of this box. So what I was doing in the past is I was giving myself designated times to trade. And I have come to find that I'm much more successful when I can just look at the market throughout the entire day. And then when I see the best time to take the signal, that's when I take the signal. Whereas if I was just trading in the mornings or at night, I was kind of limiting myself to when I was looking at the market and which signals I could see. So which lines were getting crossed. Were they pretty significant in the morning or in the evening? But regardless, I was limiting myself. So that's one thing that has changed about my trading. The second thing is the time frame that I mentioned. So now I'm trading 60-minute time frame instead of 5. So I feel much more comfortable and relaxed. I'm not making so many trades. The third thing that has changed about my trading is this. I am up $1,000 right now. Any day of the week, I would have taken this. This is an incredible trade. You got in, you made $1,000, you should get out. And for some people, that's great, and absolutely do that. I'm trying to kind of change my thinking a little bit to where I want to put myself in position for bigger trades. So I am actually resisting taking this $1,000. My strategy hasn't told me to get out. No safety lines have been crossed, so I'm safe. So right now I just need to sit back and I need to let the market do its thing. So we're up $1,000. It's 3:30. And now we're looking at 6:20 p.m. in the evening, and I'm up $1,400. This is pretty hard to not take those profits. It's an incredible trade to be up $1,400, and it doesn't happen that quickly. It doesn't happen that often that you can be up $1,400 so soon. So usually I would be apt to taking this trade. I would take this $1,400. But like I said, I'm trying to change my thinking a little bit. I'm just going to let the market tell me when I need to take my profit. So I'm going to sit back again. I'm not worried about it. Okay. I'm just going to put my phone down. And another thing I wanted to mention really quick is this. How much does it cost me to get into my trade? So when I made all of my stock trades with the stock market, you know that to day trade stocks, you have to have $25,000 in an account. And the other thing is I trade with TradeStation. So on top of my $25,000 that I have in that account to day trade, they give you 4 times the buying power. So times that by 4, and that's what they'll let you leverage. So you can buy, 50 or 100 shares of Tesla and not actually have that much in your account. So it was a little bit hard for people to kind of relate or connect to the stock trades that I had made in the past because I had traded with so many shares. So I was trading 100 shares of Tesla. It would cost me like $30,000 to make that trade, and then I would only be making $400 or $500 in profit and then getting out. So people were having a hard time understanding, okay, why are you using so much money just to make a very small amount of profit? That's just my trading style. I'll leverage the whole account in order to place my trades. Still same strategy. I just know that whenever a line gets crossed, I need to get in or get out. And it's a matter of just how many shares you're comfortable with trading. So I was comfortable trading 100 shares, fine by me, but it was hard for people to relate to, okay, I understand you're making these great profits, you're making $400, $500, but look how much money you're using. So I wanted to kind of bump it down a little bit and just show you guys, okay, some very realistic trading, which is in futures. So you don't need a minimum of $25,000 in your account. You can have a very small account. I believe you can have $5,000, maybe even $500, depending on what broker you go with. But this position right here for crude oil, it cost me $5,995. So that was how much it cost me to get into my trade. So the cool thing is it cost me $5,995, and then I was able to make a $3,000 profit with that amount of leverage. So it was incredible. I mean, the ratio is incredible compared to the profits that I've been making with the stock market. So I just wanted to put it into perspective. This is very realistic. This is very doable. An account, if you have an account with $5,000 or $6,000 or $7,000, this is a trade you very easily could have made yourself. So I just wanted to kind of bring it back, make it very down to earth, realistic. These are trades you can be making, today. All right, back to the trade. Okay, I'm looking at it at 10. Okay, now this is the next day. So when I went to sleep, I'll set my phone right there. So when I went to sleep, I held my trades overnight. One thing about futures is they don't close like the stock market does. So, for example, Apple, it will open at 9:30 in the morning Eastern time, and then it will close at 4 p.m. Eastern time. I believe that's right, yeah. And then the next day it will open again. Well, what happens when it opens the next day is there's a possibility of a price gap. It could have gapped, $100 in either direction from what it had left off the night before. So that is why I don't trade stocks overnight. The amount of shares that I trade with and the possibility of a gap happening, it just doesn't work for me. Too risky. So I decided to migrate to futures. Futures trades Monday through Friday, the entire week, and then it'll take like a little tiny break for maybe 15 minutes to an hour every day. So how incredible. You can trade futures throughout the night. So there's no gaps. There is definitely a lot of volatility. There's a lot of movement. But for the most part, I can go to sleep and be comfortable with this trade. Now, this is what I do. I set alerts. So TradeStation has this feature. Depending on what broker you go with, they might have a feature to do that as well. But I basically set an alert and said, okay, I need you to bing me when it hits this price, when it gets this high, and also bing me when it gets this low. So I put in two spots just to be comfortable. So if I made a crazy amount of money or something, let me know so I can wake up and close my trade. Or if I'm losing this much money, I need to wake up and know that I need to close my trade. So I woke up, none of my alerts went off. So it didn't hit either of the prices that I set. So I was very comfortable. Woke up, very well rested, and then I woke up to this trade. It's up $2,000 now. This is incredible. I'm feeling really good. It's a great trade. It lasted so far almost an entire 24 hours. Right now, it's actually, if you look at it, it's turning around. So I was up about $500 more, or maybe even more than that. I was up about almost $3,000, and it started to turn around. So you can see that it's these last few 60-minute bars have been headed up. This actually made me feel a little bit nervous. So the feelings that you'll have, with trading, it takes a little bit of a toll on you. So to get into a trade and then to see money just getting taken away from you, and then to see money come to you, and then see that over and over again, it does a little something to the mental. So that's just something, that's where our lines come into play. It makes everything so much easier. We don't have to be so nervous. We're still going to have these emotions. I think they're very normal, and to be honest, I think we have these emotions for a reason. If you are losing too much money and you're feeling bad, that's like your sign. But also, if it crosses your safety line, that's your sign too. So those emotions are normal, and right now I'm feeling a little bit of I think there's a possibility I might have to give all this money back. So, but I'm holding, no lines have been crossed. I should be sitting happy, I should be comfortable because my safety line is still in play, and that's really all I have to worry about is just my safety line. All right, now we're looking at 10:30. 10:30, I'm up 28, so it came right back down. I immediately felt this flush of relief. I was like, oh, I don't have to give all this back. So it fell down even more, and then that was it. By the time it hit, as soon as I saw $3,000, I was like, okay, it's time to close this trade. Now, the reason I closed this trade was not because of our strategy. A safety line did not get crossed. I was just very comfortable and very happy with $3,000. So I said, all right, deal's over. I'm done. Let's collect this profit, and we will try again tomorrow. So I'm done trading for the day. I closed my trade at around, let's see, at 10:51 today. So it was almost 24 hours of trading. I had gotten into it at 12:30 the day before, yesterday. And that's really just what I wanted to show you guys. So one, I'm going to reiterate. So this is futures. You can trade futures, you can trade stocks, you can trade crypto, you can trade options, you can trade, I'm missing something, Forex, if I didn't say that already. So there's lots of things to trade, and our strategy applies to all of them across the board. So I'm showing you today this strategy applied to a futures market, and specifically crude oil. To find symbols for futures, to be honest with you, I would just Google it. Just Google crude oil symbol futures, and then it will tell you what symbol it is for crude oil that's trading currently. So the only thing that you need to remember, which it didn't throw me off too much, but I was a little bit like, when I started making the transition from stocks to futures are contracts, and they can only trade within I want to say 1 to 2 months at a time. So if I'm going to trade crude oil again in, let's say, November, there's going to be a little bit different of a symbol. So right now, this one is CLU21. In November, when I'm ready to trade crude oil again, I'll go to Google and type in what is the most recent symbol for crude oil futures. And it will probably be something similar, like they replace the U, so that stands for the month. So it'll be maybe something like CLO21 or CLM21. They'll have a letter that represents each month. I know it sounds tricky, but I promise you Google it and it is like, it's easy. Oh, okay, and I can show you how I got out. So I got out of this trade a way that I don't normally. So usually if I make any trades, I'm getting in and out at market price. I got in at this trade at market price. Market means that get me in or get me out, wherever the price is of that stock or that future or that Forex, right here, right now. Whatever the price is right now, that's what market is. I ended up using a limit to get out of this trade. So what I did was I put a limit order for the price that it's at right now. I just wanted to make sure that I got out right here, right now, because markets, sometimes it can jump back and forth. It can jump up really quick. It can jump down really quick. By the time you hit that buy or sell button, the price could have moved already. So I wanted to be super sure that I got out at that price. I don't normally do that. This was a kind of a one-off thing. I usually will just be like, okay, close. Get me out right here, right now. But this specific case, I don't know, I was up $3,000. I'm like, maybe I need to be as precise as I can. All my trades before have been great trades, successful trades, and the difference between limit and market hasn't made too much of a difference to me. Oh, okay, well, let's go back over the lines. So we'll go back to the very beginning. So I'll show you guys my trade as a whole, where I got in, where I got out, but then I'll keep my lines on the screen. So you can see it's so easy and very clear as to why I got in. I had an up line, a great point A, a great point B, and that line was crossed. It was as easy as that. Now, there are times, and you and I both know this, just because the price is like the king, and he can change his mind at any point, this could have turned around and gone the other way. So it doesn't work out like this every single time, but the fact is, if we take the signal every time, we're going to catch big moves like these. Like, we have no choice but to catch them. We're already in position for these big moves. Now, there are times where it goes the other way and we know when to get out. We know how long to stay in our trades. So this is just a really good example of what we're even doing this for. Why are we learning this strategy? It's because it puts us in positions for big moves like these. And I just want you guys to see that this is very relatable. You guys can do exactly this. And to be honest, even if you've got a smaller account than mine, let's say that you don't have $6,000 to trade with. Maybe you've got half that. Maybe you've got $3,000 to trade with. The coolest thing about futures is that they now have mini. So like they have a mini crude oil and a mini gold and a mini silver. So you can trade the same exact trade that I'm doing, but for half the amount of shares, or even less than that, even less than half. So the cool thing is futures, I mean, I know I don't mean to push futures, but that's what I'm working with and that's what I've been most successful with. And by all means, whatever works for you, works for you. But futures has been the most versatile. It has worked for me. If you've got a bigger account, it's excellent. Even if you've got a smaller account, it's excellent. You can trade at night. You can hold trades in multiple days. You can get in and get out within a few minutes. So this is really the coolest thing about futures. It's what I've come to love. It's been like my happy medium. So stocks is what I started with. Tried Forex, and then I tried futures, and futures was just where it's at. So I've had the most success trading futures, and I'm really excited I got to share this strategy with you guys. And now I'm like not the only one. Now we get to talk about this. We get to be like, hey, look, I had this line here. It got crossed. I took the signal, and look what happened. So I'll be sure to share with you guys more trades that maybe don't work out so easy, and the ones that are a little more difficult, and the ones that you're like, you get a little bit frustrated with because you have to keep switching positions, or you get in and it goes against you immediately. So I'll share with you guys more trades, more realistic things about what it's like to be trading every day, what happens. Not every day is going to be a great trade like this one, but this is what a great trade looks like. And I'll be sure to keep sharing with you guys kind of what the tough trades look like, what the easy ones look like. But I just wanted to show you guys this. This is tangible. This is doable. This is realistic. This trade only cost me about roughly $6,000 to do. So it was a $6,000 trade that I got into, and then I collected, I think to be on the dot, I think it was $3,170. So the ratio of that like percentage of profit is just, it's incredible, and it's doable, and I'm super excited that I get to share this strategy with you guys, because you can do the same thing. Yeah, that's really about it. Alrighty, thank you guys for watching. Why? I don't know why I do that.